So it's Rapid Vienna in green and white stripes attacking the goal to our right, but it's Reed on the attack for Everton as Pristic stumbled at a most inopportune moment, and here he is again on the ball, shouldered off it this time unfairly by Reed. So free kick to Rapid Vienna, lying second in the Austrian First Division, but really with no chance of winning the championship now. 7 points behind the leaders, Austria Vienna. Stevens and Trevor Stephen, and the big number 6 there, Keenas, not really getting it away, the cross coming over, but it's behind for the goal kick. Mountfield to Ratcliffe. Vanden Hauwe. Sharp trying to come off his man, collecting, finding Reed. Vanden Hauwe. Pristic away. Ratcliffe. And not a very good clearance there by Gaga. And Sharp turns it back again towards Andy Gray, and Console getting it above Gray's head. Brauneder. Rapid have hardly been in the Everton half so far, with 6 minutes gone if you just joined us. 0-0 in Rotterdam in this European Cup Winners' Cup final. And here's Trevor Stephen now for Everton. Good run. Splendid run there by Stephen, and Gray doing well to change the point of it as Gary Stevens plays it in again. This might come for Sheedy. He's got support here from Vanden Hauwe, who will now take the throw. Well, of course, they've every right to be confident, Everton. The championship is theirs. And until they came against Nottingham Forest on Saturday, 28 games this year without defeat. That sort of record builds confidence. And some lovely one-touch close stuff here from Everton, being applauded by the Dutch crowd as Vanden Hauwe plays it in, but it's a simple one for the keeper. Having been to their hotel earlier today, I can't believe how relaxed the whole staff was, and Howard Kendall in particular. Got such an air of confidence about them. Stayed, incidentally, in the same hotel that Aston Villa used in 1982 when they came here and beat Bayern Munich in the European Cup. Free kick to Everton this time. Not that we're superstitious, said Howard Kendall, as he picked up his lucky suit. It's a free kick which Sheedy will take. The time and the testing time for Rapid will come when Sheedy gets a free kick a little closer in. That famous left foot, curling it in well, and a good jump that got it away for the Austrians. Stevens going in well. A touch on there by Sharp, and it won't come through to Gray. Brauneder getting it away. Vanden Hauwe keeping the pressure on Rapid Vienna. Sheedy again curling one in towards Sharp, and Gray couldn't quite get in there. But a good start by Everton. Well, there's the Everton bench. Colin Harvey and Mick Heaton telling people to get in forward, and particularly they want Pat Vanden Hauwe to get in there. Well, here's Paul Bracewell. Lovely little dummy, really sold Weber not once but twice. Everton's throw. Gary Stevens with it. It's a good long throw there. Might come for Trevor Stephen, might come for Paul Bracewell. In the end, it was Feinhofer who got it away. Another long throw coming up from Gary Stevens. He really has got some length on these throws tonight, and Graham Sharp getting there with a backward header. Puckle completely missing his. Sheedy. Gray, back for Sheedy! Tremendous save, a great move by Everton. Explosive finishing with the right foot there by Kevin Sheedy, and the keeper really had to be at his best. Well, it'll be Sheedy who takes this corner. Taken short. Sheedy again. Again, the good cross coming in towards Andy Gray. Still in play, this time with Trevor Stephen. They're having a great start at the moment, Everton, as Andy Gray tries to get to that one. Beaten in the air, though. Gary Stevens hoping to keep the pressure on them. And the throw goes Everton's way, to the annoyance of the Rapid fans around the ground. Well, with this long one, it could be more problems. Andy Gray up there! And it was Gaga who got it over the crossbar. Vanden Hauwe. Bracewell. Playing with such style and confidence, and as yet not quite the finishing touch, but here's Trevor Stephen. Weber's got his hands full, but he got in the challenge, but Everton get the throw. And Pat Vanden Hauwe, a man born in Belgium, brought up in London, played for Birmingham, now for Everton, and a Welsh international too. Here he is. Vanden Hauwe with a long cross there. Consell again up well, but unfairly challenged by Andy Gray. And the free kick given. No doubt about it, talking to the Austrians in the last couple of days, they are terrified at the prospect of Gray and Sharp, particularly in the air.
They get nothing like that in their league. And they're entitled to be a little bit perturbed as well, because the two strikers of Everton are superb headers of the ball and extremely brave young men.
Ratcliffe, again, comfortably winning it in the air, but Reed and Everton appear in midfield to be picking up everything that's loose. Stevens finding Gray. It's Krankel. Sheedy. Gray. Will he try and get Sheedy in again? No, the challenge was there and was too quick for him. Vanden Hauwe. Sharp peeling away and finding Ratcliffe. That came off Krankel and conveniently for Sheedy. Reed. Now Stevens. Townfield will get there first and take no chances. Well, the buzz around the television commentary points about an hour before the game was that the message from the Austrian camp was that they were going to surprise Everton by going all out as though they were playing at home and try to blitz them in the first 15 minutes. In point of fact, they've hardly been in Everton's half. Brian, you're smiling.
Well, you've got to smile about that when you hear about buzzers like that, because nobody can pre-plan a cup final to that extent. When you're playing the English League champions, a blitz for 15 minutes, the blitz has been on the other foot.
It's no doubt this is Brown Edda, but during this time of some trial for Rapid, as they can hardly get out of their own half, they, I think, would be fair to say they're missing the steadying influence of Panenka in midfield, the brilliant Czechoslovakian midfield player. Well, he's on the subs bench, and I've no doubt at some point during the evening he'll be on. Play on, said the referee. So Sheedy with just a chance to poke it in there towards Bracewell, the cross towards Andy Gray. It didn't quite reach him. It looked for a moment as though it was going to. And again, it's Everton's throw. Bracewell, Van den Hauwe, sharp on the charge, but beaten in the air by Gaga. Well, they're all over the place at the moment.
The pace of the game is too much for them, for the opposition at the moment. They're not quite sure how to handle everything, but they are hanging in there. Everton still haven't got the goal they desperately need, so they could settle down totally.
Mountfield. Here's Crankjar. Weber. This is Weinhofer. Oh, a lovely bit of play again by Everton as Bracewell gets into line for a shot just wide of the Rapid goal. Graham Sharp peeling off there, but it was Bracewell's shot, and a good arresting sort of run through the midfield. Ratcliffe. Van den Hauwe. Mountfield. Stephen. Mountfield. Sheedy. There's space for Gary Stevens. And his cross comes in, but Faber's there for Rapid. Crankjar hits it straight at Peter Reid. Battled his way through there. Bracewell really stiffened up the midfield. And Gaga again beating Sharp to it. But here's Pat Van den Hauwe. Again, a good-looking cross coming in. The Austrians missed it. And so too did Andy Gray. But it just flicked off the defender. And it means another corner for Everton. Coming up to half an hour gone. And still no score. And Kevin Sheedy with the corner for Everton. Keeper coming for it over Andy Gray's head. Gary Stevens trying to return it. Goal kick. It's probably a daft question, Brian, but with all this pressure, how important is it that Everton should have made something of it and got a goal?
Well, with only half an hour gone, there's still a long, long way to go, and I genuinely can't see any resemblance of threat to the Everton back four at the moment. Krankel's strolling around. In fact, I think you can make a comeback.
No, I think not. Sheedy. And there's Sheedy again. Buzzing, and they're busy, and a good ball. The flag has stayed down for Andy Gray on the far side. Sharp's gone into the box. Bracewell's come up. Here's Gary Stevens. There's plenty of blue in there, but that time the cross wasn't quite good enough, and it's another goal kick. As you say, they're still hanging in there, Rapid Vienna, with a half an hour gone, 0-0. And Rapid, having beaten Celtic in rather dubious circumstances in the second round, then beat Dynamo Dresden, and in the semi-final, 2 excellent matches against Dynamo Moscow. So there's quality in this side, but we haven't seen a good deal of it yet tonight, as Mountfield now plays the long ball towards Sheedy, but Liner gets it back. Here's Weber. Bristich. Crankjar. Liner, the fullback. Crankjar. 14 caps for Yugoslavia. Plays a nice little ball for Histric here. And the cross coming in. And Krankel's header. Vanden Hauwe. Sharp, good play. Got past Gager, but Weber there, the sweeper, doing his job, and here he is again. Well, he took too much on there. Gray now finding Sharp. Gray having sprinted back to the far post. Bracewell's gone to the near post. And they were in a bit of a flummox for a moment there, and it could so easily have fallen for Bracewell in the end. Consell was happy to pounce on the ball. But here comes Ristic. The dam is not being breached at the moment. Indeed, it's the Austrians beginning to look threatening as they find Krankel on the far side. Brauneder's gone away outside him. Krankel to Krankjar. A slip at the crucial moment and a free kick for them. Now this is where they would have loved to have had Panenka on the field, who is Kevin Sheedy and Michel Platini all rolled into one with the way he curls his free kicks, and I'm wondering who will take them now. Should be a little more straightforward. Ristic is behind it, and Krankel and Krankjar. So the Everton wall lines up. Looks as though it's going to be Ristic who will fire one. Krankjar. Well, that wasn't in the Panenka mould by a long way. No problems at all for Neville Southall. Neville, who picks up the Football Writers Association Footballer of the Year award, a great honour that, and a very worthy recipient indeed. He does that tomorrow night in London. Ratcliffe, Vanden Hauwe. Well, he's gone round his man somehow, and a good piece of play by Vanden Hauwe. Beginning to open up a little bit now as Rapid come forward with Brauneder. Krankel away on his left. Here's Krankel. Sweeping ball to Krankjar. Stopped by Sheedy. Supported by Bracewell. Andy Gray. In for Peter Reid. Taken beautifully in his stride. Here's Trevor Stephen. Gary Stevens. Stephen again. Weinhofer. Krankjar. Ristic. And there we saw again the speed of Ratcliffe getting across there. And a free kick given to Everton. The foul by this fellow, Peter Ristic, a new Austrian international, on Kevin Ratcliffe. But again, we saw, as Brian Clough was saying, the speed of Ratcliffe as he came across and saw the danger there, coped with it. Peter Reid. Mountfield. Stevens. In towards Sharp. Having a word there with Gager. Thought he may have got a knock in the face, and Sharp laying it on the line to the Austrian defender. If you've just joined us, some 7 minutes to go to half-time. Still 0-0 here in Rotterdam between Everton and Rapid Vienna. Good support from the Everton fans here. They reckon there might be as many as 25,000 of them. Well, they'll be cheering now as Andy Gray takes it up. That's a clear obstruction there by Weber. And it'll be a yellow card for the Rapid sweeper, number 5, Herbert Weber, and a free kick to Everton. Enter Kevin Sheedy. The Rapid manager has been studying videos of Everton. He came to see their match against West Ham at Goodison Park. It's Sheedy curling it. Mountfield on the far side! And it's been ruled out. Andy Gray's goal will not count. Brian Clough.
I saw the linesman's flag go up and I thought the decision was a bit harsh, actually.
It's Peter Reid now for Everton, still 0-0. 5 minutes to go to the interval. Sheedy. Bracewell. Ratcliffe. Reid. Space and time. Mountfield. Stevens. There goes Peter Reid. And a goal kick. It's almost unreal for a cup final, this, Brian, isn't it? I mean, to be so one-sided, although it still stands at 0-0.
And Everton will have to keep the composure, because there's nothing more frustrating than knowing that you've dominated 45 minutes and you see nothing on the score sheet. They'll have to keep the composure and they'll have to keep playing football. That might sound a little bit balmy, but I mean short stuff. Don't rely too much on Gray and Sharp up front, despite the fact that they're good crosses of the ball and good headers. Reid and Bracewell will still have to control the game.
At the moment, they have a little defending to do. As Weinhofer tries to make progress, goes down, gets a free kick. Well, they brought 1 or 2 forward, including the fullback Reiner and Brown-Edder, the left back, and Keenast, who's a big 6-footer. Andy Gray spotted him a little bit late and has now got back into that Everton penalty area. Here comes the free kick, and it's played for Ristic, who drives a fair ball, but that time hit it straight at Everton. And now if Everton can break out quickly, there might be chances. Sharp, but the green shirts are getting back. Stevens. It's Mountfield. Back again by Gray to Vanden Hauwe. Oh, and a good ball played through. Play on, says the linesman on the far side. Sheedy hitting it straight at the defender. Vanden Hauwe. He's having a fine game to Vanden Hauwe. Oh, both the keeper and Trevor Stephen missing that one. And Gary Stevens, in his desire to get in for the ball, is going to get a yellow card. So a yellow card then for Gary Stevens for the challenge on the Brown-Edder.
A little bit harsh that, Brian, the booking. I'm not quite sure what the referee has booked him for, actually, because he went low. He did go a fraction late, but it was a genuine tackle, and the right back can consider himself unlucky.
There's about a minute and a half to go to half-time, Brian. How would you sum up now this first half?
Well, as we've talked about, it's been one-way traffic for 45 minutes. They haven't done the one thing that every side's got to do, who wants to win a match, that's score a goal. But I genuinely think it's only a matter of time, and at the risk of repeating myself, they'll not have to let frustration creep in, because when frustration creeps into any side, things like bookings and missed chances and all sorts can crop up. Keep the composure, get the feet up at half-time, and I genuinely think it's only a matter of time before the score.
Well, I'm sure there are words that will be well received, particularly on Merseyside. Let's hope it's right. Good play by Reid. What an inspiration he is, again in the middle of the field, but Mountfield needs to get back. There was a shove. In fact, by Crankjar on Mountfield. It looks suspiciously it may have been the other way, but the referee's given Everton the free kick. Here's Gary Stevens. Here is Gary Stevens, but then stopped. Trevor Stephen sending the ball out to Sharp, but it won't reach Gray. Their keeper's handled everything well, Brian.
He showed a lot of composure in the last 20 minutes. And he stopped a good shot from Sheedy with his right foot, who played a 1-2 Sheedy did on the edge of the box.
Well, here's Sharp. Oh, Keenast is there.
And had an absolute cracking save. And that, as everybody knows, builds goalkeeper's confidence up more than anything else.
So a half-time whistle. The first 45 minutes dominated almost completely by Everton, but nothing to show for it on the score sheet. And as Brian Clough says, they will need to go in and get their feet up and tell themselves to be patient and stay composed.
Well, first of all, Rapid Vienna, we'd watched them play Celtic because they had to replay a game at Old Trafford, and there was it was a full house. And they were all from Scotland, funny enough. There was not many from Austria. And personally, I was desperate to play Celtic. But Rapid Vienna beat them easily on the night. So we're thinking, dear me. But there was about 6 of us went the game. Andy Gray, me, Sharpie, Adrian Heath, Kevin Sheedy. We all went the game to have a look at them. And to say that we were confident would be an understatement. And it's no arrogance. It's not, because when we went to Rotterdam, you usually train on the park, on the pitch, and I would say to us, we had a team meeting, do you want to train there? And he said they got goals both ends, and the lines like same as Goodison. So we've gone, no, we don't want to train there. And when we walked out, and it was full of blue. It was full of blue. I mean, our supporters were absolutely magnificent, and it was full of blue. And it was a game. When you go into games and European finals, it was the only one I played in, but it was a massive occasion. But we knew we were going to win it. And honestly, it's not an arrogance. It was just a supreme confidence about going out there and winning it. And Krankel played for them, and Panenka, I think, played for them. Good players, but we were too strong in terms of physically and had too much. Technically, we were just a good side. We knew we were going to win the game. We had the best goalkeeper in the world. And the best who's played in the Premiership. I think Schmeichel was outstanding for Manchester United, but Neville Southall, when you looked at him in the nets, you didn't think you were going to get beat. And that's besides having some great outfield players and fierce determination and a lot of ability. You know, some of the Sheedy, left foot, Trevor Stephen, strong defenders, and like we had strong front men, and Andy Gray and Graham Sharp.
The all-new Toyota RAV4 with integrated active drive system. Recreation redefined by Toyota.
think Andy scored. Andy Gray scored and they got disallowed. It was, you know, well, you know what Andy's like with his offsides, and now he's. We've had a look on the video and he was definitely on. But we come in at half time and the gaffer was, Howard was brilliant on them occasions. All Howard was said to us was, keep it going, you win the game. You know, and there was no like, because when you play football matches, you're on top and you don't score, you think, oh, something's going to happen here, they're going to get a breakaway, or you know what I mean? But Howard just said, nah, we're going to win it, keep on going, keep on playing your football, we've got so much quality. And that's what we did. It sounds arrogant, doesn't it? It sounds really arrogant, doesn't it? But honestly, it wasn't. It was a confidence, big confidence.
So welcome back here in Rotterdam, 0-0. Everton then will get us underway as soon as Paolo Casarin, the referee from Italy. Act as you were seeing at half-time, although we haven't seen a replay of it here in Rotterdam, there was a distinct possibility that Andy Gray's goal might have been onside. Well, it's still 0-0. That one didn't count. Kevin Sheedy with a long ball there, which Brownedder heads for Stevens now to play forward. I wonder, Elton Wellesby down on the track side, if you can acquaint us to what the feeling was in the Everton dressing room at half-time.
Brian, I can do better than that. John Bailey, one of the Everton subs, is sat right beside me. John, what was Howard Kendall, Mick Heaton and Colin Harvey saying in there during the interval?
Well, there wasn't really much to say, Elton. The lads have been doing ever so well, and all it was a matter of them to just tell them to keep it going, but stay on your toes at the back, because we've got so much of the ball, and let's just watch out for their breaks. And I'm sure you see Neville Southall shouting all the time from the back just to keep them on our toes, because we've got so much territorial advantage, and that's the main thing he was just stressing. Otherwise, just keep it going and the game will be ours.
Well, precisely the words really that Brian Clough was saying just before half-time, to keep their composure and their professionalism and their patience. Of course, there has to be a decision here tonight. If it's still level at the end of 90 minutes, we go into extra time, and my word, if it's like that at the end of that, we get those heart-thumping penalties again. There will be a decision here tonight. Faber, who's already been booked. Well, he looked as though he may have been offside there, Krankchuk, but that's a case in point there for Everton to stay on their toes. The break was on, the cross was in, Brian Clough.
The referee was watching the ball, actually, and the linesman, particularly the linesman, obviously, because he's responsible for offside. He was watching the ball, and the guy was definitely offside.
Well, it creates just a minor problem here for Everton as Rapid Vienna get this corner, their first of the game, which Peter Histrich will take, and Gary Stevens quite comfortably getting it away. But the warning was there for Everton, and I know it's one of Brian Clough's old feelings that all the time you're at 0-0, even if you're being overrun, you're always in with a chance. Well, certainly Rapid Vienna were overrun in that first half, but here's a good long throw. Vanden Hauwe getting up well to get it away. Peter Reid helping it on its way. Graham Sharp is there, but the whistle had gone. Free kick to Rapid, and rapidly taken as well. Ristic. Good play here, and Crenshaw is through, and Frankel himself tried to get in. It's over the top, and a goal kick. Crenshaw, in fact, the little lively number 7, was brought down, and a free kick in the end given in Everton's favour, the foul by Frankel. Here's Gary Stevens. Long and high towards Graham Sharp. Nodded into the path of Andy Gray. They badly want this goal, Everton. Stephen. In fact, he had Kevin Sheedy in a bit of space on the far side and didn't pick him up. Reid. Oh, caught out there. Ristic on the charge. Reid repairing the damage. Finding Trevor Stephen. There's, if anything, you suspect more urgency about Rapid in the opening minutes of the second half, but is Everton now with Andy Gray brought down by Weber, who's already been booked, and a free kick to Everton. Brian?
They're scrapping a bit more, the opposition, though, for the first few minutes of second half. And it's made it more of a match. They've been in the Everton penalty area more in 5 minutes than they were in 45.
Sheedy curling one in, and Mountfield getting in. I thought that was sure to go over for the goal kick. And now he's got to get back and defend. As Hristich, and here's Krenkel. Stevens has got to cut him off. Krankjar is waiting in the middle. Keenast is coming up fast, but it's still with Hans Krenkel. And Ratcliffe putting it behind for another Rapid Vienna corner. They didn't get one in the first half. They're now getting their second one in the first 4 minutes of the second. Hans Krenkel, the captain, and 32-year-old striker with it. Finding Hristich. Deep cross towards the far side, and Everton getting it away quite comfortably. And a powerful shot there from Gaga. Liner putting it in, and Southall gathering quite comfortably. Now back to Reed again from Ratcliffe. At Van den Hauwe. And Keenast getting it away. Mountfield's header might just put Reed in the clear. Bracewell. And again. And the cross this time towards Andy Gray. Goal kick. Hristich. Oh, the back pass might come to Sharp. He's got Andy Gray in there. That's the goal! Given away by Vienna in the end. And Andy Gray capitalised with help from Graham Sharp superbly. There's the back pass that was never going to reach its man. Here comes Graham Sharp, eluding the keeper, eluding the challenge. He looks up. What a ball that is. And what a lovely left foot finish there by Andy Gray. Everton in the lead. Brian Clough.
I do realise it was a bad back pass, but Sharp does absolutely magnificently here. He could have gone down there for a start. He even finds time to look up, and then he nearly puts it through the goalkeeper's hands.
Now there could be a break on. Gurs with fresh legs, getting past Bracewell. Krenkel there. Can he finish it off? Reed is there doing well. And finding Stephen. And now it's with Van den Hauwe. Sharp. Stevens outside here. And the cross is met by Weber. Sharp again. The cross towards Andy Gray. Knocks it down this time for Pat Van den Hauwe. Kevin Sheedy on the far side. A good cross coming in. And Weber stretched to the limit to get a header to that one. And Bracewell's shot is high and wide. And a goal kick to Rapid Vienna. Well, they may have got Van den Hauwe caught a little too far forward. The cross coming in, but Ratcliffe is there. Oh, good play by Bracewell. Sharp lurking away on the left flank. Peter Reed. Sharp wanting it again. Perfect pass, or is it, for Gary Stevens? Played in for Andy Gray. Good, confident passing movement here by Everton. Reed leading by 1-0. Bracewell. And again, getting it back. Everton fans are enjoying this. Bracewell again, but can they find the explosive finish? The dummy by Stephen It's Paul Bracewell again, the little chip in for Trevor Stephen. Oh, magnificent save. Some save there by Consell. But what a lovely piece of play by Trevor Stephen. Making that brilliant shooting chance for himself. We'll see what Gary Stevens can do here. It's a deep one again. Andy Gray there with his header. And that was nodded away by Gaga. That would have gone in. Quality play by Trevor Stephen.
They got in the Guinness Book of Records a number of times that the Everton played the ball then and eventually created a magnificent chance. I thought he was going to score, actually, and I think he thought he was going to.
Well, the other news is that down on the bench, Antonin Panenka, the substitute, will shortly be coming on for Rapid Vienna. Gary Stevens, a little flick there, and here's Trevor Stephen on his way again. Sharp's gone to the near post, Gray's at the back post, played down this time for Graham Sharp, hit by Gary Stevens away over the top. And they're going to bring Panenka on and take off Rudy Weinhofer. Substitution now being made. There's Panenka, what a character he is, 37 years old, over 60 caps for Czechoslovakia. You may remember he scored that dramatic penalty winner for Czechoslovakia against West Germany in the European Championship final away back in 1976. Well, it's been a very one-sided game here, but Everton are leading by a goal to nil. And it's still close enough for all their territorial advantage to suggest that Everton must remain watchful. And here's Panenka on the ball again. Let's see what he can do with this one. Great quality he's got with his free kicks when he curls them, Kevin Sheedy style, is he's always on target. This is Weber. He's had a really fine game as a sweeper for Rapid. But here come Everton again. Sheedy's ball hoping to release Trevor Stephen. From one end of the field to the other, and in the end pushed away by the number 4 Browneder for another Everton corner. Great ball by Sheedy. Fine run by Trevor Stephen. Everton still leading by 1 goal to nil, scored by Andy Gray. And if the photographer will just move just a moment for Kevin Sheedy, there's the cross coming in, and it went all the way, and it's in there, and it's Trevor Stephen, and it's the second for Everton. Well, the defence allowed that to go all the way through. Well, Trevor Stephen was Johnny on the spot. Gary Stevens plays it in, goes beyond Histrich, and a corner for Everton. And it's taken quickly, even the referee didn't spot that. And the Austrians may well be caught out by it. Gary Stevens with the shot and the keeper behind that one. A word about the work of Howard Kendall, though, Brian, as a fellow manager yourself.
Over the season, or since he was having his bad time the last 2 years, there was petitions and all sorts going around about him, as everybody knows, a couple of years ago. The Everton chairman kept faith with him, and this is the reward that the board of directors have got. They've got a superb young manager, they've got a magnificent young team, and I am of the opinion they'll be a force for many a year.
Well, they're under a bit of trouble there at the moment, but in the end they got it away. Keenast. If they're going to do anything, they need to pull something back quickly. Yes, you get a feeling that this is a side that can last and last. Well, Stevens coming through. This is Weber. Well, I'd be interested to know, with Elton Wellesby down there, I think Howard Kendall's gone to sit next to him. I just wonder whether we can get a word with the Everton manager. No, apparently we can't. Well, one thing is for sure, and that is that he must be mighty pleased with the way his men in blue are playing tonight. 2-0 up inside the last 10 minutes. Ristic. Frankia flares onto the field there, as you can see, which is a bit stupid. And Gross making a great run. And Southall, for the first time, called into action and responds superbly. Well, there's a bit of class there, Brian. He's had so little to do, and when suddenly called upon, with about 82 minutes of the game gone, produces reactions like that.
He stood up straight and he kept his eye on the ball, and goalkeepers like a little bit more to do, as you well know. But the way he's playing at our place on Saturday, the ball seemed to stick to him like glue, and he's getting in the way of 99% of everything.
Reed. Panenka. Oh, what a good ball there. Oh, that could be a free kick, or it could be a penalty. It's not a penalty. The linesman has kept his flag by his side and shown that it's a free kick right outside the penalty area, the very thing that Everton didn't want to give away. Panenka's already got the ball there. That wall has got to be built strongly and securely, and Southall behind it has got to be really alert. There's still 7 minutes left, and if Rapid Vienna could get a breakthrough now, all our talk about Everton winning could become premature. Here's the kick, and it hits the wall.
I'll be interested, Brian, in what UEFA are going to do about all these rockets that appear to be coming on the field, and certainly from the Rapid Vienna end.
Correct.
Because we hear a lot of criticism about our lot wherever we go within
Correct.
Europe. I'll be interested to see what their officials do to the Viennese.
And wouldn't you have thought, with the events that we've had to endure over the last few days, it takes some sort of idiot to do that sort of thing?
Well, I just can't understand them. I had lunch in a square at in Rotterdam today with some prison warders from Liverpool, and we were just saying what a magnificent ambassadors the Everton fans were, and now we've got the opposition idiots getting flares on the field.
Well, they are being made to suffer at the moment, although the flag is up for an offside against Graham Sharp, which was a curious decision, I must say. He looked okay to me. You're quite right about the Everton fans, and thus far that has been the case, and let's hope it stays that way. They've been magnificent ambassadors, so much so that I think in one of the squares in the town, the police in fact made out a football pitch and had the local police playing Everton fans in a football game at lunchtime. So that's... Oh, here's a chance for Krenkel. Krenkel! Well, what seemed impossible has happened. Rapid Vienna have found a breakthrough. Krenkel looking suspiciously offside, but the flag stayed down. Has brought Rapid Vienna dramatically back into the game with just 5 minutes left.
It's amazing what certain decisions can do in football. That looked offside from where I was sitting. Everton scored a goal that didn't look offside.
Now here's Sheedy. Well, there's the answer. Take that. And if there were any lingering doubts for just a moment, that faithful left foot of Kevin Sheedy has put paid to those. Brian again. A lovely ball by Graham Sharp for Kevin Sheedy.
He takes it absolutely magnificently. Looks up, I think it clips the post and goes in. A beautiful reply.
3-1. 4 minutes left. Kevin Sheedy. And just when there might have been just the odd little bit of twitch amongst Everton and their fans, the reply was absolutely magnificent. Kristich, Southall coming for it. They'd only conceded 1 goal in the European Cup Winners' Cup up to this point at Everton. And Bayern Munich scored in a semi-final. So a Sheedy goal that must have brought some relief to the Everton bench, I would think. Ratcliffe's ball finding Mountfield. He clashed with Gross, whose foot seemed rather high there on the Everton defender. And Mountfield, in fact, clutching his ribs. And Reed finding Sharp. Graham Sharp, who scored in every round. But so far not in this one. Reed. A little over 2 minutes left. Bracewell. Reed. Just playing with them now, Everton. Simple passing, and the Austrians themselves know that it's all up. The First Division Championship is theirs. The second leg of the treble is now on. And Everton's thoughts, in a matter of a couple of minutes or so, will start to turn to Wembley, to Manchester United, and to Saturday. Sheedy first, though. Gray tackling back. Well, the Austrians said they respected Everton as a fine side with no obvious weaknesses in it. And that really has proved to be the case tonight. About a minute or so left. But here's Panenka. Gary Stevens getting it away. Sharp up well, Panenka again. Sheedy, scorer of the third goal. Gray, the scorer of the first. If you've just joined us, 3-1 to Everton. Right at the end of this Cup Winners' Cup final in Rotterdam. Gary Stevens. Hit straight at the keeper. Apart from anything else, what do you think this does now for British football again, and for your industry in particular, Brian?
Well, it can't do any harm. We're back winning another European trophy. We seem to be in the habit of it over the last 10-15 years. And I think we'll continue to win European trophies. And nobody's done it better than Everton tonight. They've done it with style, they've done it with class, they've done it with strength, and they've achieved everything without any problems. I think we've had 2 bookings, very, very minor offences, and they're a credit to us.
Well, that's good to hear. And I think most people watching it at home tonight would endorse all of that. It's not the final whistle, but it's a free kick to Rapid. It can't be more than a few seconds away. And Everton are close to winning the European Cup Winners' Cup. Klinas putting it through. The flag is up. It's offside. Free kick to Everton. They're nearly there. And now they are there. Everton have won it by 3-1. The goals from Gray, Stephen and Sheedy. Frankel replying to Rapid Vienna. And now the big moment. They've already had the First Division Championship trophy presented to them. Now it's the turn of the European Cup Winners' Cup to go back to Goodison Park. slight hiccup, as we always seem to get. The presentation, in fact, to be made by Mr. Jacques Georges from France, who is the president of UEFA. Well, it's been pretty plain sailing for Everton most of the night here in Rotterdam. This might almost be the hardest journey of all. And the Everton fans, 20,000 of them and more in the stadium in Rotterdam. A joyous night for them, and certainly their team has done British football proud as Kevin Ratcliffe raises the European Cup with his cup.